Hey guys, how you guys doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch this video that I've made for you guys. Before we start today's video though, please take a minute to hit the thumbs up button. It helps the channel out. The subscribe button if you haven't subscribed, the notification button, and the one that really helps out the most is that join button. It's $1.99 to join the channel. It doesn't hurt anything. It's way less than an energy drink, a pack of cigarettes, or even a cup of coffee. It can't hurt. Please. Great. Also, it gives you early access to videos when I post them. In today's video, we're going to take a look at disk encryption and exactly how it works. Because a lot of people know about it, they know they should use it, but they don't exactly understand exactly how it works because it's kind of a mythical creature. All right. So disk encryption. Okay, so you encounter when you're setting up your installation. A lot of people go to install, they download the ISO, they install it, they get into ColorMars or whatever the installer is, and it'll ask for disk encryption. Even the Arch installer asks for disk encryption. And most people look at it, they think about it, and then they're like, oh, I'm not on a laptop, so let's click past it. Or, or if I'm on a laptop, oh, I better use it, but I don't understand how it works, but okay, whatever. Well, let me tell you something. Disk encryption is kind of like putting security at the utmost level, because let's face it, Linux is well renowned for its security. As a whole, Linux doesn't get viruses, it doesn't get very exploits. Increasingly, though, lately it has been getting more and more exploits, but the reality of it is it's really not an insecure operating system, not as much as like Windows or Mac OS. And Mac's also relatively secure, as Linux is. But, Windows, we all know, is the worst proponent for security risks at all. And Linux is just not known for that. So disk encryption is one of those layers of security that actually is offered in Linux that most, Windows has its encryption, that kind of stuff, all these things have their encryption, but Linux takes it to kind of different levels. And the first way to understand it is kind of understanding from the beginning process to the last process how it works. And in that, let's take a look at exactly what it is. So picture your storage disk is kind of like, or your hard drive is kind of like a canvas filled with information. To use a better example, let's look at a picture. Say you're looking at a picture, right? You've seen those pictures like in spy movies and stuff like that, where you see the picture of like a lady standing there or somebody standing there in the park, right? But when you look closer and you look behind, in it, and you like see that picture's actually overlaid on top of a lot of different little secret like passphrases or, symbols or whatever, right? Well, those are your actual, like, those little symbols and those little secret messages in the background. Those are your data that you want to protect. That's your like, your passwords or, like your banking information, whatever you keep on your hard drive that you just don't want people to actually see whatsoever. And so that's what we're going to look at protecting. And that's kind of how the encryption kind of works in Linux. So it uses something called crypt setup to manage your disk encryption. It's like your trustworthy bodyguard, man, just standing there at the entrance of your hard drive, right? You're just standing there, arms folded, saying, nay, 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 you can't get in here, right? That part of it is, the bodyguard part of it is, of the disk encryption, is actually the passphrase. Okay, and the passphrase is kind of like a super secret password that is only you know. And if you need, if you're having, okay, look, if you're having difficulty coming up with the super secret password, then I could tell you where to go get one. No, you don't want to go online and get one of those, top secret password generators. You don't want to do that. You don't even want to install one. No. All you got to do is like fire up your Mastodon client and go get on DT's Mastodon, or hit him up via email, or any other method that he has, and say, hey DT, I really need you to help me here, man. I need a true super secret password. I'm sure he'd be happy to help you out on that one. So anyhow, so it takes that passphrase and it creates a password out of it. You know, it's like having your personal key to your hard drive. So that's the first step that it uses to do that. But hold up. Where the real magic is Linux uses a passphrase to generate a unique encryption key. That's right. It's like a holy grail of your data, because this key is a secret code that only your computer understands. It uses computer language to make this key, adding an extra layer of protection onto the next level security. So your bodyguard kind of has a bodyguard. It's kind of where you look at it. And it's like, you know, a superhero with a cape on. And now that will lead to the third part of it, which is that Linux handles this bad boy encryption key with all the heavy lifting done by the Linux kernel. When it comes to disk encryption, it seamlessly integrates with crypt setup and ensures that your data is encrypted on the fly. That means that you can continue working on your computer, like moving in, logging in, you know, doing whatever you want. As it's decrypting the passphrase that you typed in to log in, the Linux kernel is doing it all in the background. And that's where the magic truly happens, is that it's seamlessly integrated. So you don't have to like stop and wait for this key to decrypt first, and then all of a sudden you get that, you may enter now, kind of like you see in the spy movies. No. You just continue going into your boot into your hard drive and everything works. But now, say your laptop got stole. Say somebody actually managed to actually get into your passphrase. Don't worry. Linux got your back there, because what it does, it takes up a notch by using a tried and true technique of encrypting the encryption key itself. So it's kind of like, in this sense, it's kind of like your encryption key gets encrypted, right? But that key that it generated in itself, that is only accessed by the computer itself, right? So there's no way of getting to that key without that key being applied by the computer. So when it hits that point of unlocking and unbooting, like I told you, the kernel's working in the background, and it hits that point where it's trying to unlock itself, right? It says, oh wait, I gotta have my own key that I made. So it goes, it gets its key and applies it, and it unlocks itself, and then it finally grants full access to the hard drive, and your computer system can boot in, or you could access the whole plethora of different files that you have. So it's like an infinite boot loop of encryption goodness, making it virtually impossible for anyone to really get their hands on your cherished files and information. So in reality, unless you are not safe in securing your initial password, your passphrase, you run the risk of creating and being the only problem. Once you encrypt your disk, you run the risk of being the only security flaw to your computer, and that is you somehow not securing that passphrase, or using the same passphrase that you use for many other different things. Now, the flip side to that is, if you're super secret that password and you're the only one that knows that password, and somehow, mysteriously, magically, something happens that you do not remember your passphrase, well, you're in a, I don't even know how to put it in any other words other than you're just totally effed. You're screwed. You're not getting into that disk whatsoever. Whatever's on there is locked down, protected. You can never get in it. Now, should you wipe and go? It depends on you, because you could always wipe it and go and reinstall again, or maybe set it off to the side, and then hopefully someday you actually remember the password, because most computers use like GPG key encryption, blowfish, those kind of things. Those different types of encryption methods that are out there that are very strong and takes a lot of computing power to crack it, and a lot of time. So I know that there are instances of GPG keys that I'm not sure that it's ever been actually cracked by the government. I know there's an instance in somebody's case where they were running a computer to try to crack the GPG key on a suspect's hard drive, and I believe at the last time that I was following, it had run for like 2 years, 2 to 3 years to crack it. Yeah. So that's a long time. And that's by then you could have done a million different things to get that information for whatever reason. You know what I mean? So it's just not worth it. So you may be screwed at ever getting that information. But if for somehow you manage to remember that password, hey, then you could log into it, get whatever you need off of it, and make it viable. That's the only thing I could tell you on how to do it. So there you have it, folks. The thrilling world of disk encryption in Linux. It's like having your very own bat cave for your data that is booby-trapped and secured to high heaven. With Linux's powerful encryption tools, you can sleep well at night knowing that your confidential information is safe and sound. So with that, I'll simply say this, man. You guys keep doing what you do. Keep on Linuxing. Stay safe, stay blessed. Do all that you can do to have a great and blessed day, and I will see you in the very next one.